Just what will we come across this time?
I knew you.
Port Ormos. No, I didn't design any one specific building. Most of my work here concerned structural renovation. Port Ormos had already existed since I was still a young child. It wasn't as large as it is now, though. It only came to its current size after a sizable expansion. I was part of that project. The arch bridge over there, for example, that was one of my designs. When I was first tasked with the project, I decided to reference the growth patterns of nearby trees to split Port Ormos into 2 levels. My goal was to improve the overall utilization of space. We ran into a lot of issues during construction, but thankfully, we were still able to achieve the original vision. Residents can now behold all the ships entering and leaving the harbor from the vantage point of the bridge, while visitors can recognize the site of Port Ormos from a long ways away. I was still young and new to the trade back then. I could hardly believe that an idea in my head could become reality and remain in the world for many years to come. The true cornerstone of the creative process. The point about the design that will be ultimately used to judge its true worth. It was the first time that it became crystal clear in my mind. Once built, a building will continue to stand. Countless people will see it, and countless more will step inside it. Its final worth, whether it's good or bad, will be assessed by the countless generations of people that interact with the building during their lives. You think so? I'm glad to hear that. But even with this project, I still had one small regret. My budget was tight, and I was unable to use the higher quality timber I had originally intended for the design. I knew that some concessions on aesthetics would be needed as soon as I agreed to a proposal that prioritized the practical functions of the project. Us creative types know better than anyone that most projects cannot be completed without a few regrets. Even the Palace of Alcazarzare was not perfect. Yeah, you're right. I should learn to look toward future opportunities and believe that any regrets I have can be overcome in time. We've spent long enough here. There's still one last place I want to go, but it's a little far. Would you be interested in a quick trip to the desert? Great. Most of my projects over the last few years have had something to do with the desert, partially because there's a special place there that I often visit. This is a rare opportunity, so why don't you come along and see it for yourself? If you ever feel down, maybe you'll be able to go there and feel better too. Who would have thought that so many primal constructs could have congregated here while I was gone? We won't be able to sit and talk peacefully with these guys around. Let's clear the area. Come at me!
You asked for it! Go!
Scanning! Ha! To! Ha! Ha! Sight clear!
Let my name echo in song! Yoo-hoo!
Final warning! Justice will prevail!
Say cheese!
Stop right there!
Yeah! Hard-hitting exclusive! Let the world come alive! Strike a pose!
Hands where I can see them! Final warning!
Isn't this place great? I often come here to clear my mind when I'm dealing with a difficult situation. You know what I mean. Everyone finds themselves in frustrating situations once in a while. Just take me as an example. My family life got shaken up quite a bit when I was young. I struggled in school, and I got into a huge pile of debt building the Palace of Alcazarzare. Although Alhaitham thinks that it's because of my personality that I continue to live in the shadow of the past, I think it's also just a part of life. Plus, if I look back, I've honestly had my fair share of good luck as well. You could probably say I've followed in the path of my mother. Like her, I've gained a name for myself as an architect, built something that's seen as my magnum opus, and found many projects that others have entrusted to me to finish. Life is too boring when you live with no enthusiasm and passion. Only those who believe in the inherent meaning of it can capture the small nuances of everyday life and turn them into inspiration for beautiful designs. Of course, I will concede that loving something also means taking it to heart. So to an extent, caring is also a source of pain. If I didn't love my work, I wouldn't be so torn up about it all the time. But still, isn't this place beautiful? Despite the erosion from the winds and changing seasons, you can still perceive its past beauty and glory. With different landforms come different architectural styles. The desert's history has left it with few records regarding its buildings, so I often visit the desert to investigate things in person. The sight here has moved me ever since the first time I laid my eyes on it. I told myself that one day, I would also be able to create buildings that move others. My pain will one day fade into nothing, just as I've reached the end of my life. But buildings are different. They are far more valuable than most materialistic things, and far more durable than human flesh. As long as there remain souls in the world who can decipher the meaning behind them, they will also have acknowledged me across the vast stream of time. If you were to ask me what art is, that would be my answer. You think so? But I feel I've always been like this. Remember that question I brought up before? The one about whether I should see art as a divine gift of inspiration from the gods, or as a product of my own existential struggle. I still haven't found an answer to that yet. But if art wasn't inherently paradoxical and enigmatic, then people probably wouldn't be drawn to it. Those who pursue art will be unable to avoid the pain that it naturally brings. Will often be floating on cloud 9 one second and sinking in a mire the next. I'll try gathering my thoughts again once I've found a way to define art in the first place. In any case, thank you so much for listening to everything I had to say.
Well, hello there, my dear partner. How have you been? Remember, if you ever find yourself caught up in some strange case, just notify me immediately. Thanks for looking out for me. But no need to worry. I'd say the peace and quiet you have here makes it an even better vacation spot than Watatsumi Island. Too bad there are no cases to crack, though. It's almost too serene. Lacks a little intrigue. Oh, no, that's my problem. Gah, look at me, making you feel bad. Hey, I have an idea. I think it'll give me a chance to redeem myself and serve as something fun to do. Let's play a little game of mine. Here's how it works. After you return here each day, I'll try to guess what you did that day, what you ate, even who you saw. If I win, you'll think of something to do for me. But if I lose, then I'll treat you to the best kushikatsu place I know. How's that sound? These buildings and those spherical lamps. They use this style in Merusi Village, don't they? I recognize them from a picture album. Legends say that the home of the Melazines is a secluded little village deep under the water, far away from the rest of the world. The kind of village you read about in fairy tales. But I've always believed it's real. Please don't tell anyone else I said that. Most people would probably think I'm just being childish. Wow! The layout and style here really are something. All that's missing is some special lighting. But the room really has a certain intrigue to it. Imagine. Poof! The lights go out. Bang! 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 A knock at the door. Suddenly the wardrobe starts creaking. Then you hear a faint, raspy voice coming from beneath the bed. It'd be a great setting for a murder mystery party, don't you think?
I applied for vacation. You remember too, right? I knew you'd miss me.
Your weapons!
The night is cold.
You asked for it!
Yoo-hoo! Cole, mine's a command.
Truth bomb! Let my name echo in song!
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward.
Welcome to Netsuke no Gen Crafts. We can make things other than sculptures as well.